Okay, this is one of my constituents, and we're just talking about relationships in general. So, from your perspective, what's the difference between the older relationships with our grandparents versus relationships today?
So with our grandparents, as far as the grandmother, majority of them, if not most, they wasn't educated. So,
but they stuck together though. That's the part where
they did stick together.
So they stuck. You saying they stuck together because they were uneducated?
No, you didn't let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Because they wasn't educated, they stayed home with the children. The man went outside the house and brought the money in.
Okay.
Am I right or wrong?
That's true.
They brought the money in. So, with the man being the breadwinner,
right,
he was able to do whatever he wanted to do.
Right.
Because mama got to take care of these children.
Right.
And that's all mama can do is take care of the children.
Right.
Where our dad probably wasn't educated either, but dad went out and worked in the fields. He did what he had to do to provide for his family.
Right.
So with that being said, because mama has no money, no work, no experience other than taking care of the children, the man was allowed to do whatever he wanted to do. That's why there was families on the other side of the road.
But I hear that part, but
okay.
But I'm saying, but they stuck together.
They did stick together. That's why they had no other choice but to stick together. Because where's mama going to go?
So you saying you saying that our grandparents, those grandparents with those long relationships, they just tolerated men?
They did. They did. Those grandmamas tolerated a whole lot.
And you don't think that those were you're saying that those were not successful relationships?
They were not. They were not. Just because they're in long term, that doesn't mean it's a successful relationship.
Okay.
It just means that the children have two parents in the home.
Okay.
No telling what those children have seen, right. Because I'm sure just because mom is there, that doesn't mean she likes what dad is doing.
Okay.
So now this younger generation, we women, we have our own jobs, our own career. So we're not going to tolerate what grandpa did in 1960. We're not doing that because we have our own money.
So what about the good guy, the good grandpa? Because you're saying, you're making it sound, correct me if I'm wrong, you're making it sound like all
not all of them.
Were bad men.
Not all of them. No.
That's the way it sounds.
No, not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them were.
A lot of these guys were good guys.
A lot. Well, I'm gonna say like this: 50-50.
I don't know the percentage.
Yeah, okay.
But
I don't either. But I'm just half good, half bad, because we all know that they got sisters and brothers on the other side of the tracks.
So that made them bad men?
Yeah, it made them bad men.
So because they had another child made them a bad man. So what makes
some of them have whole families. They have 2 and 3 children, and they trying to provide for the other household as well.
Okay. So what were the children better with that parent in the home versus no parent in the home today? Because that single mother who got those degrees, she's out here working, the child is at home by themselves. Now kids are in gangs, or they stay at home. They're not. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
They're out here, or they are recluse. All they do is stay in the house and be on video games all day, and they overweighted and get all kind of allergies and stuff because they're not immune to nature. And to me, I think the home was more successful with both parents in now. Now, I'm not talking about the toxic relationships. I'm not talking about, you're talking about the worst of the dads. I'm talking about the good, because there are just as many good men, good black men, as there are bad black men.
And that's true, but we're not talking about the good ones, because if
I'm just talking
we were talking about the good ones, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Well, no, but I'm saying, I asked you about why the relationship lasts, and you said it lasts because she was in need. But I think the children were better. So I think raising healthy children And I think that if you raising healthy kids, it give them the balance. I think that's a success in my eyes.
So if dad is out ho-hopping on the other side of the tracks, is dad really home? No, dad isn't. So at the end of the day, that mom is still a single mom because she's there all the time with these children. Just because dad lays his head down in the same residence at night, that does not mean dad is there.
Okay.
Because if dad's working all day, then he's going, when he get off, I gotta go see Shirley across the tracks, and then he gonna go talk to Shirley and deal with his other children over there. Right. And then he comes home to his wife and children. Is he really present? No, he's not. He's not present.
But a working mother, a single mother working is not present.
So either I'm going to be a single mom by myself, doing it by myself.
Okay.
Or I'm going to be a married woman and we're going to work together and I'm going to be the only woman.
Okay, so let me tell you a statistic. I don't know if you're aware of this statistic.
Okay.
It is about, I think it's 70 or 80% that kids, young black males that are incarcerated come from a single parent home. Now this is present time. This is not back in granddad time. Okay. And it shows that that two-parent household, you raise better kids. The statistic wise. Okay. And it shows that in a single parent, if a single mom's, by her raising her child, chances are this child gonna get into a lot of whether it's incarceration, they'll wind up being homeless, depression, suicidal. It's more list. I don't have it in front of me right now. Right. And the statistic also showed that if a male raise his child, the child will still have won't fall up under those statistics, up under the father leadership, even if he was a single parent. So basically what I'm saying is, according to statistics, his leadership is equivalent. A father leadership, if he was a single parent, is equivalent to a two-parent household. So what do you have to say about that? What is your take on that?
That's bullshit.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Even though
because at the end of the day, if you're a single parent, you're not there. You can't.
So you don't think fathers have more discipline? Like how some fathers, and I'm sorry if I cut you off, but you know how some fathers, if you're in the house, because you're married, and you know how some mothers, mothers, even if it's not you, when they were young, kids manipulate the mother. You know what I'm saying? Because the mother is loving and the nurturer. Well, the father can look at the kid and they just know that dad don't play type of stuff. In most cases, not all cases.
Yeah, because that wasn't my case.
Okay. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Because most disciplinary in a two-parent household, in a lot of cases,
normally is
from
the man.
Father. Right. In most cases.
Right. In most cases, that's in a two-parent, like you said, two-parent. But if that guy is single, guess what he's doing too? He's working just like a mother would be working. So is he really there?
So why do you disagree with the statistics?
Because
you think it's
single is single. Single is single, and you don't know what that child is doing just as well. The mama don't know what that child is doing when she's at work and the child is home, the latchkey kids. So yeah, he may have a little more bass in his voice, but at the end of the day, them kids gonna do what they want to do, regardless if it's a mama or dad. That's just the way it is. Okay, so
let's move forward to the next question.
Okay.
So what can we do? I mean, here we are. This interview is in February. We're in so-called Black History Month.
Right. Not so-called.
Yeah, because I really personally disagree. I think every day is Black History.
All right.
Because we're alive every day.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And we're great contributors to this country as well.
But they're not going to talk about it.
But that's a whole other subject.
Right. They're not going to talk about it for 28
No, we just should be in history according to to put it in.
They just gave us what black folk wanted.
Yeah,
we don't have no more.
We just should be placed in according to the dates in history. Whenever time it happens, we should be put it in. But that's a whole nother subject. So anyway, what can we do to make better relationships and produce better kids in today's society? Because right now, our young black men are in trouble, whether we like it or not.
They are.
And they're joining these gangs, and they're thinking they're only meaning a success. Not all of them, but I'm specifically looking at the urban city guys, who I'm referring to. They thinking that their only way of success is being a rapper or athlete, nothing else.
Yeah.
So what can we do for that? I know it's like a loaded question, really. But what can we do to have better relationships?
Better relationships.
Because we're producing kids, regardless if you're married or not. Black people still making kids.
Right.
So what can we do to produce better children? What can we do to keep our children out of these systems? What can we do to keep our daughters off of the strip pole?
Okay.
What can we do to make her not what's that word? A thought.
First of all, to keep their daughter from being a thought, the mama can't be a thought.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Because a lot of behaviors are learned behaviors.
Okay.
Right?
Facts.
Secondly, what I've seen in my 47 years on this earth, these new parents want to be their child's friend.
I'm glad you hit that
versus
one. Thank you.
Parenting.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So you can't be their friend and want to be this cool mom or cool dad and not parent your child. That's not how that works.
Facts.
So if they can get that under control, our children will be better off as well.
Okay.
That's probably the main thing, is parent your child and not be their friend. You can be their friend when they're adults and when they are grown and on their own.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
They are growing up,
you
have to parent. You have to parent.
Right.
And now they have all this, like my daughter has, baby just turned 1. And she has this whole gentle parenting. I just feel it's a different ways to discipline your child. And I agree. But at the same time, you can talk to a child, you can talk to them until they're blue in the face, right? But you can only talk so much. After a while, you're going to have to TTAU.
Right.
You know what that is?
TTAU?
Yeah. Tear that ass up.
Okay. I agree. I think that, with that philosophy, like your daughter, I think that's a problem too. The lack of discipline.
Exactly.
The lack of, sparing the rod, so to speak.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, yeah, okay. Once you do all this gentle parenting, and it doesn't work. Yeah. Then what?
Now what? Right.
Now you want to TTAU.
Right.
Now it's gonna be too late.
Right.
I said, well, and I told her, I said, listen, that gentle parenting is for white people. I'm sorry. I don't know if you have white audience, but I'm just telling it like it is.
Speak your mind. You entitled to your opinion.
Right. All that.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Sit down, little Johnny. I'm gonna count to 10. Okay. What happens when you get to 10 and little Johnny's still doing what he was doing?
Right.
Then what?
Right.
Time out. You're gonna go to time out because after I whip your behind, you're gonna go to sleep.
Right.
That's your time out.
Right.
But I don't know. It worked for me.
So what can we do? Because like I said, as a society, I'm looking at our youth and I'm like, man, we're in trouble.
We are in trouble.
We're in trouble.
Whitney Houston said, children are our future. We are in trouble.
Yeah.
We are in trouble because these mugs, all they want to do is get high and smoke weed, including my 28-year-old son. We in trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say all of them because
I'm gonna say a lot of them. It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of
weed
heads.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I tell you, it's a lot of them, and they're getting younger and younger.
And they getting young, and that's the scary part.
That's the scary part. They are younger and younger.
Yeah.
And I personally don't. We're in trouble.
Yeah, we're in deep trouble.
We're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
And we can't even say it's just the blacks that's doing it. Because the white ones, okay, the whites, they like weed. Them white folk, they like meth. They like that hard stuff.
Yeah, but these young black kids, they popping pills now. They're not just smoking weed and drinking. They're popping pills.
Yeah, they're
drinking this so-called syrup, you know, and this stuff is,
it is.
You know,
they're being laced with, all kind of stuff. And when I
they
grew
smoking
up,
this synthetic weed.
Listen,
They got all kind of different this weed. That's not normal
I was just about to say, when I grew up, they called it reefer. Right?
Right.
And you knew when somebody was smoking reefer.
Right.
Okay? This new stuff they got,
Man.
that crap stinks so bad.
It does. It does.
I'm like, what is in that? What kind of chemicals?
Right.
Because it can't be the same reefer they smoked back in the 80s.
No,
in the 90s.
No, it's not the same.
Because
you can tell it's chemical. Because the one, they got all kind of different names.
Right. Because they got one of them called it loud.
Yeah, well.
And it's loud.
Well, yeah.
Oh my God.
You could be on the highway sometimes.
Oh my God.
And a car can ride past you on the highway and you can smell this stuff.
Yes.
I never experienced nothing like this in my life. That's why I know this stuff got to be super chemical. And you don't know what kind of effects. You don't know what kind of chemicals in that. Let's go.
And they don't.
They
know is they're getting high.
Right. That's all they know.
I'm so high.
That's all they know.
I'm so high.
Right. And that's, I think that's going to be a huge problem for us. Our future.
It's going to be. It already is.
Yeah, I agree.
It already is. So all we can do is just hope and pray that they get it together. Let these parents start parenting their children and stop being a friend, because they need guidance. Okay,
so what we're going to do to have healthier relationships? Because right now, it's not healthy right now. I see us, men pointing fingers at women pointing fingers at men. It's like a gender war.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just a black thing. It's it's a Western thing now, because I'm telling you, and I know we may, you may not agree with me, but I'm gonna tell you, it's men, and I've talked to guys younger than me, and of course guys my age, we looking for that traditional type of woman, and it's hard. It's like a needle in a haystack. And I remember, I know you're about to get started, but I remember, I remember guys, cause when I was young, and I'm from Atlanta, so I'm in Atlanta right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I remember guys, it wasn't nothing for you to find a decent woman in the city. And even then, if you felt like she wasn't wholesome enough, you would go to the country and find that woman.
You wanted.
I'm saying back then. Listen to me. Back then, I used to hear. I'm telling you, I was a young one, not me. I'm saying the guys older than me. They were like, "Yeah, man, you go get you a country girl." This is what I used to hear. So now, I don't know, because with this social media era, it's like she's a needle in a haystack now, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So what's your take?
Mm-hmm. Are you done or are you finished? Are you done or are you finished?
I'm done. I'm not finished.
Go ahead. Okay, first of all, let's get back to this first word you said. Traditional.
I said that's what men look for, whether he used that word or not.
Is that today?
Even today, we're looking for those type of qualities. We're looking for those type of qualities. So hold on, I'm gonna hold that thought, because we're gonna get it. Okay, so let's finish where we left off. You said that word traditional.
Yeah, traditional.
So, yeah,
some men are looking for the traditional woman, but they're not traditional men. And when I say traditional men, because the traditional man, remember, they worked while the wife did what? Or the girlfriend, they stay home and paid all the bills. Y'all not looking for that now. Y'all want 50-50. I'm going to pay half the rent. You're going to pay half the rent. No. Yeah. So you can't want a traditional relationship if you're not trying to be that traditional man. Okay. So you can't. That's a contradiction.
Can I say something though? I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I will say in today's society, the cost of living, especially in America,
We ain't got nothing
which
to do
I know,
with
let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of living is very, very, very high compared to those days.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I'm not justifying it by any means, but I'm saying that to say, if you trying to live in a decent neighborhood, I'm talking about the common man. I'm not talking about these IT guys who making six figures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say he do pay the very expensive rent. If she paid the utilities, is that okay? If he paid the mortgage or the rent and she paid the utilities, is that okay?
That's not traditional.
That's not traditional to you? So your meaning of traditional, a woman do nothing?
No, she gonna take care of children and take care of the house.
So when I think with today's men, I don't think they're saying you stay at home type stuff and
Some of them
stay
are.
barefooted. I don't listen to me. I'm speaking from a man's point of view. I don't think we're meaning that today. I think we're meaning that we're looking for those traditional qualities as,
But don't say traditional then.
No, I'm still gonna use traditional. I'm talking about the qualities because we can't say like grandmother. Them time is totally different.
Right. But are you gonna be that traditional man? Well, we don't want you to be a traditional man because y'all some hoes back then.
So but women still want men to be traditional. For example, if a man take a woman out, sometimes she may ask to go out. Mm-hmm. She still expect him to pay the bill. I'm just talking about date. Even if she asked him out, even if she asked him out. Really? And a lot, I'm telling the truth. That's why you laughing, right? So that's not traditional. My thing is if you ask to go out and you asked to go out.
I don't do
it
that.
Wasn't his idea. I know, but you laugh because you know some stories, right?
Yeah.
Am I telling the truth?
You're telling the truth.
Okay. And I don't think if the person who asked to go out, they should be the one. It was their idea to go out to begin with.
I suggest.
Now if a guy asks a woman to go out, in most cases that means he's prepared to take that woman out.
Yeah.
Even
if it's for 20.
Right. But so women look for men to be traditional in certain ways, right, even if he's not with her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm. So
what is your definition of a traditional woman?
My definition of a traditional woman is she gonna be, because we're in a different society, it's not gonna be the same as grandmother. I know that. I'd be foolish to make a statement of such. Mm-hmm. When I say that, I'm looking for the qualities of knowing how to keep a home clean. There's a lot of young ladies, believe it or not, they're not domesticated when it comes to keeping a home clean. Some of them can't cook. Some of them, and that, to me, if you are a man trying to provide, y'all have kids, and to me, that's part of the qualities that a woman should have, because those kids need a meal.
Remember I said learn behaviors?
Yeah, right. You said learn behavior. So in that sense, a lot of these young mothers, a lot of these kids suffer in those areas because their mothers have the lack of, they don't have those qualities that's domesticated to help inside that home, where I'm talking about simple stuff. I'm talking about cleaning, and some of these young ladies, they just not clean. They're not like you. You in my era.
Right.
You're a different type of breed. Mm-hmm. And you know these young ladies ain't like you. Is that fair to say? You agree?
I agree.
Okay, so now we know that there's a difference. Yeah. These girls don't want to clean.
They do not.
They not even clean themselves in a lot of cases. They'll throw on some clothes, won't even take a bath.
That's nasty.
I know it, but I'm telling you the truth.
Like I said, learn behaviors.
Right. So, and
these young parents, when I say young,
right,
I mean they're in their early 30s.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about just holding those qualities. And those are simple qualities.
Right.
That's not saying the man don't help to clean. That's not saying the man don't help to cook. That's not what I'm saying, because we're not living in grandma and grandpa times.
Right.
Okay.
But some men do feel that way.
Well, I do also believe that everything is a case by case basis, right, as far as that concern. But in the meantime, to me, that when somebody walk into your house and it's junky, it's a reflection on that woman.
Absolutely.
If the grass is not cut,
it's the reflection of the man. That is true.
Okay. Regardless of who do what better.
Right.
When they walk into that house and they see all kind of crap on the floor. They like, man, that's a nasty woman. They
Yeah.
looking at her.
That is true. That is
When they
so
go outside and in the yard, you know, you got the pit bull tied to the tree. Like, that don't no good, Joker. That don't no good, man. You see what I'm
true.
saying?
You're absolutely right.
So we do have roles to play,
Mhm.
and in those roles, that's what I consider tradition. Now,
Okay.
and that's the core of tradition. However,
Okay.
we kind of hybrid a little bit here and there. We're
Right.
supposed to help each other out. I'm not saying a man is not supposed to do nothing, and I'm not a reflection of those guys who you're referring to. I'm
Right.
talking about men who understand that we are in a different time, but there is a core of tradition that
Right.
should lie within a woman as well as within a man.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I agree.